So now we have to prepare a couple of more lift charts, right? So decile wise lift chart. It's the same concept like cumulative lift chart, except that it's the same concept like the cumulative lift chart, except that now we're going to slice the data into 10 groups instead of um, plotting each and every point. Okay. In D, we plotted the entire data set, each individual um, observation was plotted, right? So instead, we want to slice it after having sorted. Sorting is important. After having sorted, okay, so we want to set up, no, you want to slice it into 10 groups, and we do that using a pivot table. So here is our data. So make sure that you've selected a cell inside the table, and then you do go to pivot table, right? And then you place the pivot table here. Okay. So now we can use the case number. Case number goes from 1 through the end. So we put that into the rows. All right. So then we group. Okay. So we want 10 groups. So if you do the by as 1618, right? So that will give us approximately 10. So here we go. There is 11 here. So let's do the grouping a little bit more, say 16, 20. Let's see whether that gives us 10 groups. Okay. So there are 10 groups. So we want the actual price, okay, in these 10 groups, right? So we have already sorted the data by predicted price. So all we have to do is to bring in the price. Okay, so now we have sum of price. Okay, then so we have the average right here. Okay, we bring in the average. So now we have the sum of price in each decile, actual price, and this is the average price. Okay, so now if you divide one by the other, so you get the sum C63 divided by D63. So that will give us the lift. That's all is needed. And then you plot that as a bar graph. Okay. Now, in each interval, each class interval or each slice, you're comparing the total price in that slice, actual total price, against what would be the total of the average prices in that group. You can also do average and it will give you the same results instead of summing the price. So what is the average within that slice? So we can say instead of sum, we can say value field setting. You can say average. Okay. So in which case you really don't need this. You can change this to average, that will work. Okay. Or we've already computed the average, so C63 divided by, remember we computed the average right here, so make sure that that is absolute referenced. That will give you exactly the same value. So the average in each decile, what is the average actual price in that decile? Then you compare that against the overall average. So how far above each decile is compared to the overall average. So that is E.